Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about these brand new Spotlight Sims that are going to be dropping tomorrow, I do believe, here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. I actually need to make sure I finish the last couple of groups myself of these Spotlights on my other account so that I'm ready for the new cards that are coming tomorrow. I have not caught up on this account. I'm not 100% certain if I'm going to yet, considering, like, I don't know. There's a lot of challenges that I have to do on this account, but I am basically very nearly caught up on the other account. So I'm just going to finish the last couple Dark Matters and be ready to go on my other account for these challenges tomorrow. Before we hop into it and discuss these challenges coming tomorrow, though, and the players that I think we might get, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. We hit 40K a couple days ago. I really appreciate all of y'all's recent support. Much love, for real. Y'all have been showing a lot of love, and I really appreciate the support. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's discuss the challenges. So first and foremost, obviously, make sure you're caught up if this is something you're trying to complete, especially with the Thunder and the Pacers going to the finals. The Invincible player, while not guaranteed to be somebody elite, will likely be a good card, like almost certainly, as the finals reward. And if the Thunder win, pretty darn good chance that they win. They seem to be the favorites for sure. I mean, dang near unbeatable in all honesty, as far as I can see things anyway, with the way this is going to go. Barring injury, I lean towards the Thunder almost certainly winning the series. And if the Thunder almost certainly win the series, then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will almost certainly be the finals MVP. And at that point, I think it is almost certain that we get an invincible Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the NBA finals. Therefore, I think there's a good chance this is worth completing. Unless you have like invincible Jokic and another invincible point guard already, I don't see why you wouldn't at least try it. Not to mention the fact that these finals players are going to be 100 overalls. We're going to be getting a 100 overall player from the Pacers and a 100 overall player from the Thunder, and there is definitely potential for both of those cards to be quality cards that help a lot of people's teams, depending on animation, SIGs, release, who they decide to give the players to, all that type of stuff. So if you haven't caught up yet and you are wanting to get these done, I would absolutely recommend grinding them out. Again, up to you whether or not you find it worth it or not to do so. But it is, if you haven't done it yet, probably I mean, we got how many challenges? 16 for the first round, plus 8 for the second round, plus 4 more for the third round. That's 12 plus 16 is 28 challenge groups. Each challenge group, I would say, takes you an average of the earlier ones are a little easier, and the next one's like 45 minutes. So we'll say, just to be nice, I mean, even if it's only 30 minutes, that's 14 hours to complete all of these. I think it's longer than that overall, though. So I would say it's probably closer to, so far, I don't know, nearly 20 hours of challenges probably to complete all this. So it's a lot of catching up to do if you haven't already done it. And I get it if you don't want to do that. But if you're kind of close and you've already done a lot of these challenges, I'd recommend finishing it up. Personally, I think it's definitely worth doing because I think we're going to get some good players. And so let's talk about players that we could very easily get for these 100 overalls. Now, I'm going off of the assumption, based on all the other playoffs cards that have dropped so far, that we're not going to be getting any duplicates of these players. Now, in the finals, as the final player, I do think that might change. I mean, considering that if the Pacers win, I think there's a good chance we get Halliburton, for example. If the Thunder win, very good chance we get a invincible Shai, for example. Makes a lot of sense to me anyway, is what I will say. But I am going with the assumption that as of now, the finals players are going to be new players, which means probably no Tyrese Halliburton and probably no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the two players for the finals, which makes sense. I think people would assume that. Now, I will say, I think there's a small chance they do decide to drop Halliburton. And the reason that I say that is because they already dropped Pascal Siakam in the last round as the Pacers player. And while technically Siakam was the Eastern Conference MVP, or the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, I should say, I'm not 100% sure he deserved that, to be totally honest with y'all. As good as Pascal was, I personally think that Halliburton was overall the best player in the series. Now, Siakam's scoring was a bit more consistent and he was more efficient as a shooter, but Halliburton averaged 10.5 assists and had 10 turnovers the entire series in 6 games. He averaged 10.5 assists and less than 2 turnovers a game. He had more steals than he did turnovers in the series, averaging 2.5 a game. And he was 21, 6, and 10.5 with a couple of truly phenomenal games in this series. He had like a 32-point triple-double and a couple other spectacular games. So while Siakam was awesome, so was Halliburton. And yet I look at these stats and I kind of see, who's the guy who's going to get this player? You know what I mean? Because obviously the two best players for the Pacers were Siakam and Halliburton. This is kind of why I thought that the dark matter probably should have been somebody like Andrew Nembhard, who was really good in the conference semifinals, instead of dropping Siakam, because I thought they would save Siakam to be the 100 overall player for the Pacers for the finals, and then save Halliburton as like the final player. But now I look at the numbers and I'm like, well, Halliburton was the best player in this series overall, in my personal opinion, for the Pacers. Why wouldn't he be the 100 overall? Probably because they're saving him for a potential invincible. Here's the honest truth. The Pacers aren't probably winning the finals unless injuries. I think people agree with that realistically. I hope I'm wrong. If it was me, I would just give the player to Halliburton, to be totally honest. I would give the 100 overall player to Halliburton. He deserves it. He was the best player in the series. But you know what I hope they do is I hope they look at things and go, okay, we already gave Siakam a card. We already gave Halliburton the pink diamond. We want to save him for the finals if they win. And we already gave Neesmith the Galaxy Opal. Let's give it to Miles Turner, the next best player on the team. Was he spectacular this series? Not really. He averaged 13 and 3.2 rebounds a game. He wasn't super impactful on the glass. He wasn't dominant efficiency-wise. I mean, 56% from the field overall is good for sure, but 32% from three isn't spectacular. I mean, he wasn't unbelievably overly impactful. He did average nearly 2 blocks a game. I mean, he was certainly a good player in this series, but I don't think he's unbelievably spectacular type. I don't think he's an unbelievably spectacular type of player, to be totally honest. I mean, good player, but not insane player, in all honesty. Probably the 4th or 5th most important piece to this Pacers team, but out of all these guys, he seems the most likely. I mean, Mathurin barely played in a couple of games in this series. He only played 86 minutes the whole series. Are we seriously going to get 100 overall Obi Toppin? No, we're not getting TJ McConnell or Ben Shepherd or any of the guys like that who barely played. I mean, not barely played, I'm sorry, but only played 15 minutes a game or so in the series. Like, realistically, we're going to probably get Miles Turner or Andrew Nembhard, I think. And I don't think Andrew Nembhard 100 overall makes a lot of sense. It feels like a Miles Turner card. Feels like a Miles Turner series here. So I'm hoping, honestly, that we do get Miles Turner as the 100 overall tomorrow, because he'd be a really good card. Is he the most deserving player from this series? Probably not, but is he the one that makes the most sense in terms of what 2K has done so far? I think so, and I'd be very happy with a 100 overall Miles Turner. That's an elite level 6'11 power forward with a nice jumper, quality defense. That could be a really, really good card. Thunder. Story is kind of the same, but not really at the same time, because obviously Shea was the best player, but they're going to save Shea to be the finals player, the invincible, I would assume. Plus, Shea already has a 100 overall. Chet also has a 100 overall. Caruso has been their 4th best player overall in the playoffs, but he got the dark matter. Dort has also been awesome, but he got the Galaxy Opal. So you look at it, J-Dub seems like the very obvious choice for this. He does not have a 100 overall yet. His best card is the Dark Matter Domination Reward from Season 6, which is not that insane of a card. He was pretty darn good in this series. 46% from 3 is absolutely elite. He was really efficient. He played really, really well, had a couple of great games. And, I mean, yeah, J-Dub had a really good series and was easily the Thunder's best player. Definitely was one of those first series, I feel like, in his career where it was like, oh yeah, this guy is a super quality second star. But as of right now, I think this was probably the best playoff series of his career, honestly. Very efficient, very quality series. And to me, it's a no-brainer. Chet already has 100 overall. Shea already has 100 overall. They already gave Caruso and Dort cards. The Thunder are easy. Give J-Dub the 100 overall. Let's call it a day. And let's save Shea for the finals if they do win it. But in my personal opinion, those are the two players we get. I think we get 100 overall Miles Turner, 100 overall Jalen Williams. I would not be shocked if the Pacers player is somebody else. If the Thunder player is somebody else, I would be stunned. I'd be very surprised if it is not J-Dub for that series. And with that being said, that is where we're going to call the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. And I appreciate y'all. Peace.